What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about the new updates on Raid Episode 3, multiple unlockable camos, and even more. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and also let me know in the comments, have you guys gotten all rewards in the first 2 episodes of Raid here inside of Modern Warfare 2? I, of course, covered both episodes in depth on the channel already, but with the Mid-Season 2 update a little while back, they added a bunch of other unlockable cosmetics through beating those first 2 episodes, whether it's on regular or even veteran. There's 2 universal camos and some other cosmetics like calling cards, loading screens, emblems, and of course those operator skins for Gaz and even Captain Price. I'll be covering our 3rd episode, of course, on May the 10th when it does release with Season 3 Reloaded. I'll be posting a guide on the episode itself, then a separate video talking about all the rewards and secrets that you may find through the entire episode. But earlier today, I posted a separate video talking about our weapons coming in our Mid-Season 3 updates. We have 2 fully auto pistols, the Shuriken Throwing Star, and we even have 2 classic weapons, the classic ACR and MP5 through the throwback audio pack, which is going to be really cool. We talked all about how to unlock those weapons and even more details that were featured in our recent blog post. But real quickly, I also want to mention, if you're looking for an affordable PC to get into gaming or content creation, you can use code DYNAMITE for up to $250 off of Apex gaming PCs. The link is down below in this video's description. I also worked with Apex to produce 3 fully customizable PCs known as Nuclear, Bombshell, and even Detonated, which can also be financed for as little as $67 a month, and these are all built for COD 2.0, any other games that you guys prefer, and of course video editing and even live streaming. But over on our blog for Season 3 Reloaded, we got some new details about our 3rd Raid episode. As it says here, the threat moves underground in Special Ops Raid Episode 3. After tracking down Alex, Gaz breaks off to establish comms with Laswell and provide exfil. Now, Price, Farah, and Alex must push deeper into the Soviet base, descending into a massive pit where they will navigate old train tunnels and electrically charged waters, with the deer and the missing warhead still on the loose. Every minute counts. So don't forget, we have the usual suspects on Twitter that posted early details about our 3rd Raid episode. Again, if you don't want to see any spoilers, then click off of this timestamp right now just in case. But we have Alex, who said on Twitter, abandon silo, descend into the site, computer lab, and escape the computer lab. Now again, that might not be all the objectives in our 3rd Raid episode, but these are the ones that apparently have leaked out a little bit early. Also, don't forget that gameplay even surfaced of almost the entire episode, but you can clearly tell that the build that these people were playing on was unfinished, and people were still playing as Gaz instead of Alex. That was a placeholder, and people that were trying to do some of the puzzles were having a bit of trouble since, again, the episode wasn't completed in the build that they were actually playing on, but that footage has since been taken down off of YouTube and even Twitter. Now, Task Force Leakers 141 also put on Twitter that Season 3's raid includes puzzles about a fuse box, water valve, a water pump, and planting a C4 on a catwalk. The operators will be Alex, Farah, Price, we already knew that. Hadir will be in the outro. Again, he is now leading Al-Qatala, which means he's the new Khaled Al-Assad of this Modern Warfare reboot, and Alex is your raid operator bundle. Now, we'll get back to that in a second because there might not actually be a raid operator bundle here in Season 3, but looking at the second part of the blog, it now says complete Raid Episode 3 to unlock Alex as an operator who can be used across Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2.0 online modes. Earn a unique Electrified Camo by completing Raid Episode 3 on Veteran difficulty found in a classified area. Another unique weapon camo can also be earned during Raid Episode 3. So let's break that down piece by piece. First off, as we all expected, beating the episode just once will unlock a free operator skin. In Episode 1 it was Gaz, Episode 2 it was Captain Price. But in those respective seasons, we also got the Raid operator bundles featuring an alternative look for Gaz and then Price. And if you both beat the episode and bought the bundle, you'd have a total of 3 skins for that operator, whether it was Gaz or whether it was Captain Price. It doesn't look like we're getting that deal this time around for Alex though, which is a bit strange. Again, as of right now when I'm recording this, it is Wednesday, May 3rd. Maybe this gets changed and they do end up releasing a Season 3 raid bundle that just wasn't featured in this blog for whatever reason. But as of right now, there might only be 1 offering for Alex, but it's still going to be free regardless. You don't have to pay any money for him whatsoever. So I guess that's a good sign, but I do wonder if the sales or reception to the first 2 raid packs weren't good enough to justify doing another one. Keep in mind, the first 2 raid packs also feature Spec Ops stars to help upgrade your kits even faster. So I figured with that pay-to-win element in mind, they would keep doing bundles like that for the last couple of seasons of Modern Warfare 2, but maybe that just won't be the case. And for those wondering what's going on with Farah, maybe in Episode 4 or 5, she'll be the unlockable character by beating those episodes for free, or they'll end up doing some more raid bundles at some point in the future. But the second part of this, talking about a unique Electrified Camo by completing Episode 3 on Veteran difficulty, that part has me intrigued because there was a reward for beating the first episode on Veteran, and that was a very odd looking blueprint. It was pretty plain, not really worth the unlock, but if you're a completionist like me, you probably went and did it anyway. Now, there was another blueprint released as a reward for beating the second episode on Veteran as well, but keep in mind, with our Mid-Season 2 update, they overhauled the UI for our raids, in which we can actually see all the rewards at the main menu, so you can see which ones you have got and haven't got, and you can even preview you the rewards themselves in this specific menu, which is helpful. So we've gotten quite a few rewards, right? You get your regular completion reward, your veteran one, and there's also the additional random completion rewards, which we'll also talk about in a second. But I think it's cool that this time around for veteran in episode 3, the incentive is an actual camo that you can use on any weapon in the game instead of just a blueprint that might look pretty plain or might be for a weapon that you don't care to use anyway. Now the thing is, it doesn't look like there's going to be a camo release through a random loot pool in our 3rd episode. There might be other rewards for beating the episode, which we don't really know about just yet. We'll talk about that when the episode does release. But it mentions another unique camo that could be earned during the episode itself. Might be similar to that maker blueprint that you can get in episode 2 by doing a bit of an Easter egg, getting 3 key cards and opening up a secret room to get your hands on that 74U blueprint, in which you can then take that into any other game that you like across COD 2.0. Something along those lines might be added in our 3rd episode, but for a camo this time, which if anything is a better reward, right? A universal camo, even if it's a little plain, it probably still holds a little bit more value than any random blueprint that you can also get by doing a difficult task. So at least you know that an Easter egg or a quest of sorts or some side objective is going to be in our 3rd episode, similar to episode 2. And the thing is, episode 2 was so much better than the first one, at least in my opinion, that I'm really hoping episode 3 also steps it up a little bit and goes above and beyond what we already experienced as of a month and a half ago. Now, maybe in place of random completion rewards, where every time you beat an episode you just get a random calling card or an emblem, sticker, or whatever the case is, maybe instead of that, this time around they're like, alright, let's just throw in 2 camos to this 3rd raid. And I think that's fair since, again, episode 1 offered 1 camo, episode 2 offered 1 camo, but if this 3rd one offers 2 camos, that probably does make up for not seeing a weapon charm or an emblem, a loading screen, stuff that you guys probably don't care that much about anyway. So we'll have to wait and see how the rewards work in this episode in comparison to the first 2. But I do know for a fact that over on Twitter, the usual suspects also went ahead and posted a preview of a camo that I can't show you in full on screen for obvious copyright reasons, but it looks like a mix of Damascus and this like red tiger camo. It looks a bit strange, but apparently that might be one of the free camos you can get by being this 3rd episode of Raid. So keep that one in mind, or that camo could be tied to something else entirely that we don't know about, or could be tied to the Trophy Hunt expansion coming during Season 3 Reloaded. We'll be talking more about that expansion in a separate video, but as of right now, we know about these 2 Raid camos and at least 2 other camos coming through the Trophy Hunt expansion. So that's 4 universal camos coming with Season 3 Reloaded, which is very exciting. But for those wondering more about that Electrified camo, is it animated? Is it cool looking? Could it be reactive? Does it evolve? I'm gonna guess it probably doesn't, but if it does, that would be wild. I mean, I know about the nuclear blueprint that you get by doing Champion's Quest in Season 3, and that blueprint actually has tracers and is a bit reactive. That's crazy. So they have already begun introducing us to free blueprints that do have tracers and are reactive, which is kind of a change of pace from a lot of the other previous free blueprints that we've gotten in the last couple of years of Call of Duty. So maybe Electrified camo is going to be animated, but there is this preview of one of the new blueprints in the Thunderfront Elemental Tracer pack that maybe is actually depicting the Electrified camo by mistake. I mean, it looks very similar to what you think an Electrified camo would look like, and that doesn't exactly look like what the blueprint is in game, looking at this little preview here in the item shop. So maybe this glitch accidentally gave us a preview of what the new camo is going to be, but let me know how you feel about that down below in the comments, and will you be going for this camo when the 3rd raid does release? Now, I also want to remind you guys that you can now use loadouts inside of raids. I know when Season 3 first launched and this feature was added into the game, it was a bit buggy for some players where you would create a loadout at the menu, hop into a match, and your loadout just wouldn't pop up. And you have to go up to that crate there to actually grab your loadout, as you guys can see in the footage, but that actually wasn't working when the season first began, at least for some people. Luckily, that's been fixed now, at least to my understanding, and I think it changes the way that you beat the raids altogether, right? This is the first raid to release where you can use the loadout right away day 1. I know you guys might have gone back and beat the first episodes using your favorite loadout, but it's going to be cool seeing day 1, everybody out there using their favorite meta loadout. It makes the episode a little bit more fun. I mean, the episodes already gave us some pretty good weapons to begin with, but to be able to use your own weapons, no matter what they are, that'll just increase replayability all the way through to where you might want to go back and beat an episode many times because you can use different weapons each time, and it can really change the pacing of how you complete it. Now, if we also end up getting those 7 random completion rewards like we got with the first 2 episodes, then being able to use your own loadout will probably encourage players to actually go for those instead of doing this repetitive session of just hopping in, doing it, hopping out, and then going back in, rinsing and repeating with the same weapons over and over again. Using your loadout might encourage you to actually want to do that more than 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the reception is to our 3rd episode of Raids. But lastly, to end this video, we have a new Spec Ops mission dropping here in Season 3 Reloaded, which is surprising considering Spec Ops hasn't gotten that much support since, what, Season 1? Obviously, Raids are a part of Spec Ops, but I was to hope to see at least 1 to 2 new missions per season. It looks like Spec Ops is still locked to just 2 players, while Raids and DMZ are locked to 3. Not sure why there aren't any 4-player experiences across COD 2.0. know, besides what, BR quads or Resurgence quads. It's a bit strange, but as it says here, Defender comes to Hafid Port. Deploy to Hafid Port in Al Mazrah and take on the cartel's new operation. It won't be an easy task though. Once you've eliminated their first line of defense, you need to dig in and defend against multiple waves of increasingly challenging enemy forces. Bolster your defenses by visiting the shop to purchase power-ups like AI reinforcements, kill streaks, and the self-revive kit. Get rewarded with special ops stars for your efforts, which can help you level up those kits and otherwise unlock exclusive items. So I believe we already got this exact same mission, but on Zaya Observatory. It was a watered-down version of survival from the original Modern Warfare 3. It looks like that exact type of system and formula is coming to Hafid Port. So it's not clear as to why it took that long to see something like this added to Spec Ops. It's really just a reused concept that already released in Modern Warfare 2 prior, but I guess that's better than nothing, and I'll still cover this mission in a separate video when it does come out, because I'm sure it'll have some story elements that tie the stories together between raids and even DMZ. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on our brand new updates regarding episode 3 of Raids? How are you feeling about multiple unlockable camos in its mid-season update and everything else we discussed? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.